Hello and welcome to the very first ever AGORACOM video CEO interview program. My name is Al O'Grady, and with us today is the Chief Geologist with Brigadier Gold, Mr. Derek McBride. Derek, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Al.
You have a couple of projects on the go, but before we get into that, why don't you first tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm based in Toronto. I have a mining diploma from the Hillibury School of Mines, a Bachelor of Geological Engineering and a Master's of Geological Engineering from Queen's University, and a degree in Geology, Structural and Economic specialities from the University of New Brunswick. Okay, now before we get into some of the projects that you're working on, you are with Brigadier Gold. Can you just give us an overview as to what Brigadier is involved with right now? Brigadier is a junior company that's involved in 3 areas in northeastern Ontario. Properties in Matachewan that are which is an active ongoing drilling program in Larder Lake, which is being run by Mr. Larry Hobbs, and the Hunter Mine project right in the city of Timmins that is being run by myself and Bob Chataway.
Okay, and I think Hunter is the project that you want to talk about at greater length. You have some maps behind you. Why don't you tell us what that map is all about, what project that is, what you're working on, and where you're going from here?
All right. The map is really of the eastern part of the Porcupine Camp. South Porcupine here. Off behind me is the super pit that Dome has been mining for the past decade. The town of Porcupine is up here. The property actually is in the town of Porcupine and down the southern shore of Porcupine Lake. Further east is the second super pit, the Pamour pit, that the Porcupine joint venture is mining, and the haulage road comes down underneath us to the south over to the 15,000 ton a day Dome mill, which is just off to the west. Okay,
now this project has some history. Why don't you give us some history, where you've been in the past, and take us up to the present?
Okay. The Hunter mine was the original gold discovery in Timmins. As the prospectors came out of Porcupine Creek here, they found this rock outcrop on the side of the road, side of the lake, with a gold-bearing vein in it. And you can go down there and you can actually see the pit that was dug in about 1905 or 1906. The mine, they tried to develop in that period. First World War stopped that. They again tried in the period of the, just prior to the Second World War. They mined 1,400 ounces, shut it down at that time, and it remained dormant until the mid-'80s when Wabigoon took an option on it, and under Eric Davis, they carried out a drilling program which is shown on this map by a series of whole circles, some along the shore and some in the lake. Based on that work, Val Gold got interested in 2003, and we went in 2004 with the same barge as you see behind me here, and we drilled a series of holes in here trying to confirm the results that had been got 20 years before. The end result was that we were able to trace the mineralized horizon. Sits as a sloping surface going under the lake like this, and the actual high-grade chute goes across it at an angle. So it's going down like this to the north. Based on that, we designed a program to go 50 meters north of this last drilling, drill 2 holes through here, and go another 50 meters north and test under here to get the downward angle as this ore chute goes down to the north.
Okay, now what does this all mean? First of all, can you give us some sort of idea in terms of the concentration of gold that's available?
The values in gold vary from 1 or 2 grams in the horizon as a whole, up into the ore chute as high as 40 grams over a meter and a half. So that the ore chute is defined by the high-grade values, a group of high-grade values defining basically a ruler that's going down into the ground within the whole horizon. And what we want to do is to extend this to the north, but at the same time, or during the same program, is that we want to test it to the south. And this is the most southerly drill hole that was drilled in any of the programs. But the favorable geology comes down like this and straight over towards the super pit. There are only 3 holes known in this area historically, and they are drilling under the lake from the edge of the lake, which is the opposite way we are. We know that the zone is dipping under the lake at an angle, and we're coming at it this way. The old holes actually drilled down the layers, which gave them very little information, and the holes were drilled sometime around 1940.